Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Could the Sussexes be keeping up with the Kardashians? A source close to the Kardashians claims Kris Jenner is trying to get Harry and Meghan into TV. The source claims it's no coincidence that the Kardashians all move in the same circles as Meghan's new circle. It's just a slam dunk for the two families to team up. But Kris doesn't want to push too aggressively too soon. Even if it's just a cameo, that's a huge win for Kris. The business side is now in motion and looking very lucrative. Some point out that Meghan's mother, Doria, was recently seen hanging out with Jenner and Kim Kardashian at the This Is About Humanity's annual bash. Royal commentator Angela Levin told Sky News Australia that Meghan forgets that people only care about Harry. Angela was speaking at the recent New York event and said, the people who were there were only really interested in Harry. She forgets that. She thinks she's the only one that matters, but actually there's still a residue of people being interested in Harry. Harry made an absolute colossal error because he said that it was very important that he was there to teach people like farmers and people who lived out in the country who would have no idea how to deal with social planning or anything like that. Well, apparently there was a big row about that because that's very rude, and people who chose to have a farm aren't actually stupid in any way. Lots of farming now is done electrically and with gadgets, so it wasn't a very happy day. Carson Daly shared how he was unsure how to approach Meghan at the recent New York City Archwell event. Carson was on the Today Show and said, by the way, they were so great. People asked me, how were the royals? I didn't know whether to curtsy or hug, like what's the royal rules and whatnot. And Meghan said, bring it in, with a big hug. The King gave an address to the Lord Mayor of London and the City of London Corporation on Wednesday, urging the country to resist the temptation of turning into a shouty society. The King wore a suit adorned with various honours and medals and said, there is in our land a kind of muscle memory that it does not have to be like this, that the temptation to turn ourselves into a shouty, recriminating society must be resisted, or at least heavily mitigated whenever possible, especially in the digital sphere where civilized debate too often gives way to rancor and acrimony. The King added, it has never been more vital than at times of international turmoil and heartbreaking loss of life. Our willingness to put others first and treat them as we would wish them to treat us, to listen to their views, and if we do not agree, to remind ourselves to engage in a way which is passionate, but not pugnacious. This includes the practice of our religious faiths in freedom and mutual understanding. Above all, genuine togetherness that will see us through good times and bad. Charles also spent a good section of the speech discussing climate change, saying, after decades of debate, our television screens, or increasingly mobile phone screens, confront us each day with the stark realities of climate change. But our devastating scenes of communities scarred by fire and flood, not to mention the migration of people fleeing those terrifying phenomena, enough to persuade us to take the action that is needed, to make the sacrifices needed to secure our planet for generations yet unborn. Is Charles holding out on us about UFOs? Nick Pope, who once ran the UK government's UFO project, has said the King should use his power to compel the US to divulge everything it knows about unidentified anomalous phenomena. Pope said, the King has a direct access hotline to the top people when he needs it. Here is someone who can lift up the phone and say, what's going on in the US? I've followed the story with interest about the NASA reports from the Office of National Intelligence, the congressional hearing, the multiple UFO provisions in the defense bill, and I want a full classified briefing. Someone has to go first, and yes, it's a big, brave step. Pope appears in an upcoming documentary, The King of UFOs, out in November. Palace Intrigue will be right back. The Express reports a new king has been added to British history, and a world record set after a coin found in Hampshire Field fetched more than £20,000 at auction. Dating from around 50 BC and smaller than a human fingernail, the gold coin is stamped with the name Uzanertos, a previously unrecorded Iron Age ruler. The coin was found in a field earlier this year. Taking a look at a different royal family, we may have a real-life Cinderella story after someone left their shoe at the castle after Prince Christian's birthday. Prince Christian of Denmark recently had his 18th birthday gala. People recaps how royals from around Europe, including a number of fellow future monarchs, gathered in Copenhagen. The guests sported tiaras, ball gowns, military uniforms, and sashes showing their honours. On Monday, the Danish royal palace had some fun on Instagram by posting a photo of a single sparkling shoe that was found after the festivities wrapped. The caption, "Is it Cinderella who forgot her shoe last night?" When the guests at Her Majesty's the Queen's Gala dinner yesterday had gone home, this lonely stiletto shoe was left at the Christiansborg Castle. The owner is welcome to contact us to get it back. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please head on over to YouTube or youtube.com and do a search for Palace Intrigue there and hit that subscribe button for us. You don't have to listen to the show again, but it really helps us out. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue and good times.